Good morning, Marnie here. It is Monday and I have a couple of finished objects, a few finished objects actually. And as far as WIPs, well, I've been working on the Sudoku inspired blanket. I got all the squares done, I just got the centers of the squares done. And now I am working on putting the white around the colors. I still have a few more squares that need ends sewn in, but not that many. I've been working on it throughout the weekend, and I don't remember if I mentioned it. I think I might have mentioned it. I started working on some other squares last week that I've been working on, and it's a Mary Maxim pattern, and I think one of these days I would like to buy the kit because I want to use the yarn that it comes with. And I'm using just this the leftover loops and threads impeccable yarns on it right now, and I'm using a larger hook than what the pattern calls for, but if and when I ever get the kit, I'm going to use the proper hook that it calls for. Right now I'm using a 6mm hook. So anyway, I want to show my finished objects first. So I actually made this hat this morning. This is the closed top Clair Bun Beanie, and I was going to put this on there, and I had it on there, but it was just too big and too floppy, and it didn't allow the hat to stand up like this. It just kind of flopped over. So anyway, I think this might look better. I don't know. I really wanted to put this on here, and if I'd had a smaller one like this, I would have used that instead, but I didn't have a smaller one, so this was the only color that went with this that I had in the smaller size, my tribbles, as I like to call them. So anyway, that was a hat that I did this morning, and on it I used the loops and thread impeccable camo tweed. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. So it is let's see how many yards this is. This is an Aran tweed. There's 190 yards. That's how much I had left. So I was able to get one hat out of one roll, and that's what I've got left. So chances are this will go on a scrap project. So there's that. That's one object done. And then another one, I worked on this last night and kind of finished it this morning. It is a cowl. And it's as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell it's very staticky. I did wet it down and let it air dry, hoping to reduce the static on it. Oh my gosh, it was sticking to me the entire time I was working on it. The yarn just kept sticking to me. So this is a bag a day pattern, and I loved it. I really love this pattern so much, and for that I used this is the now my hair is just flying everywhere. This is the Yarn Bee, the soft standard, and it is speckled feather. All the fuzzies are just standing on end. That's how, yeah, it was just sticking to me all over the place last night. So this is 200 yards, and I had very little left. I mean, I played yarn chicken with this. In fact, I'll show you a picture right here of what I had left. But this is now the pattern on her tutorial, she uses a 4-weight yarn, and this is a 3-weight yarn. It's on the thicker side of 3-weight, but it's very, very soft. Very, very, very soft. And like Crystal would do. Oh, gosh, it smells good too. Very scarfable. So this calls for a 4.5mm hook. I used a 6mm hook. And I love the way it turned out, actually. I just wish it wasn't so staticky. So, the next object I have finished is this cowl, which is also a bag-a-day. And this one is actually sold. It's going to a friend of mine that I went to school with in Kentucky. Well, she lives in Kentucky. When we were going to school together, she was living here. But she now lives in Kentucky, and her husband is German, and so her in-laws are German, and so she wants to send this to Germany. Like, oh, that is really neat to know that a piece of mine is going to go to Germany. That's kind of really neat looking. So this is the Crocodile Stitch Cowl. And I think the one mistake that I made on this was I didn't make this long enough, because this part I didn't count. I just kind of guesstimated. I didn't count my rows. Oops. So that's one. And then I actually have an order for another one. So that was the I'm sorry, Loops and Threads Natural Marl in the light pine. The one that I'm going to be making starting tonight is the Loops and Threads Natural Marl in the pearl. So that's this silvery beige color here. And going to a friend that I went to school with. So I've got 2 sold so far, possibly 3. Somebody else asked me if I was going to be selling them. So anyway, that's what I'm going to use on that. And then the last finished object is just another one of the same cowl, the Crocodile, in a different color. So this is a medium blush, and it is I believe it's big twist value. And I started out with a new roll, and this is what's left. So I don't want it to land on the floor. All right. So yeah, there you go. That's what's left. That's the done project. So I couldn't get my crocodile scales to lay down very good, so I ended up blocking it. I think that kind of helped it. I don't know. You know, I pinned some of the scales down just to keep them down some. I guess it turned out okay. It looks good on my mannequin. Which I will, if I remember, put pictures right here. So that is it for my finished objects. So like I said, I've been working on the squares for the Sudoku inspired blanket. And I just dumped my basket. Ah! Alright, oh well. So I'll show you a couple of the motifs that I got done for the other square that I'm working on. The Mary Maxim pattern. It is the, and I haven't gotten very far. I've only gotten a few motifs done because I'm just working on it here and there. But it is from the Mary Maxim's Starburst Throw. And let's see. I got the strings to sew in on this one and this one. So I've gotten 4 squares completely done. So here is for the Mary Maxim Starburst throw. And I used a 6mm hook. So I like those, really like those a lot. And again, I am using just the leftover loops and threads, impeccable. And I'm bordering each square with, it is called pale gray. Okay, so, and I got a bunch of the flowery centers in here. I just kind of work on these when I go outside. Just got a basket full of them there. And, oh, please don't fall. I almost lost the whole basket again. So as far as the Sudoku blanket and the squares that are completely done, strings sewn in and everything, that's what I've gotten done. So yeah, all done with these. And then almost done with this one. I ran out of yarn. Well, I didn't run out, I just haven't attached a new roll yet. I've got 3 more rolls, and then most of these, the strings are done. I have a bag somewhere. Oh, these all, I need to sew the strings in on all of these. Some of them have the white around them, some don't. Strings are all sewn in on these, I just need to border them all. So that is my WIP, 2 of my WIPs. And tonight I'm pretty much going to be working on, what did I do with that yarn? Oh, yeah. Tonight I'm going to be working on the other Crocodile scale, you know, this thing, Cowl. So I really like that. I just wish that I could have gotten mine to lay down better. I think maybe because the pattern calls for a 6mm and the yarn itself calls for a 6.5. I don't know how much difference that makes. I would have liked to use the bigger hook, but I didn't want it to change the size any, so I just did with what she called for. So I think that's going to do it. I got my my coffee here. My aunt sent me this coffee mug last summer. It is Coffee is a Hug in a mug. I got maple flavored coffee in here. Got some heavy cream and one little chunk of that in there. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for now. Oh, and I also have my other drink here. I'm addicted to the root beer Zevia. Actually, I'm addicted to the ginger root beer, but Schnucks was all out of the ginger root beer, so I'm just getting the creamy root beer. And I also like the Zevia cream soda. Okay, now that's going to do it. So I hope everyone has a great Monday. And if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. Last I looked, I was up to 820. Still trying to get to 1,000. I was hoping to get to 1,000 by my birthday, which is on the 22nd, but I don't think that's going to happen because I've had this channel for 5 years and it's taken that long to get this far. Alright, so I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.